Tennessee Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the heat is on. It's going to stay on for a while longer. It is May going into June after all. June 1st, the beginning of hurricane season. More on that right now. In fact, Dr. Philip Klotzbach with Colorado State updating his forecast today. And he's brought the numbers down a little bit, and we'll tell you why in just a bit. But he's expecting a near normal season. But whether the season is near normal, above normal, or below normal, prepare for each and every hurricane season equally, because it only takes one storm in your backyard to make it a bad hurricane season. So these are the numbers. What goes into the forecast, you ask? Well, you may not ask. I'm going to tell you anyway. Well, we're looking at La Nina transitioning to a neutral situation. Weak El Nino maybe, but not until after the hurricane season. So we don't think it's going to be a major factor either way, La Nina, El Nino, or neutral. But this is the big one. Cooler than normal ocean temperatures have developed across the tropical Atlantic. That's less fuel for storms, and that usually translates to fewer storms. But as always, there's the but. Above normal temperatures in the western Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf Stream off the U.S. East Coast are going to be wild cards, because that's maybe where we might see the storms developing this year. Last year, we had those long-lived storms developing in the main development region over here by the Caribbean and out in the Atlantic. These are current water temperatures, and you can see where the 80-degree temperatures are starting to kick in. Notice it's cooler eastern Gulf. That's thanks to Alberto churning things up, but the western Gulf is on the warm side. Very warm down in the eastern Pacific, but it should be this time of year. But we not only look at water temperatures, but changes from normal. These are called water temperature anomalies, and the warmest waters out here in the Pacific. Notice the western Gulf of Mexico above normal temperatures, and look at this Gulf Stream. Any storms that are coming in this way that get up in here in the northeast could make for interesting storm development. The same for the Gulf, but this is the area we do like to see cooler than normal water temperatures in that main development region, and that may continue into the summer. We'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, the heat is on across much of our part of the world through Texas. Strong storms up in the high plains and big sky country also in the nation's midsection in response to an upper level disturbance that's producing the threat of tornadoes, and perhaps we have severe thunderstorm warnings going through Tennessee and portions of the southeast. Meanwhile, we just have gentle breezes out of the south, just a few high clouds coming out of the north, and just a few fair weather cumulus clouds coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. A couple of blips on the radar south and east of Baton Rouge late this afternoon, but that's all we're going to see is a blip or two over the next couple of days. Rain chances at the 5% range. Currently, we're at 90. Dew points not too terribly bad. South wind at 11, and we do expect those south winds to continue tonight. So we were 73 this morning. Tonight will probably be a little bit warmer. Got up to 93 this afternoon. Breezy southeasterly winds as well offshore, but they should come down just a little bit as well. So tomorrow, like today, we start off the morning with partly to mostly cloudy skies. That continues through lunchtime. Temperatures near 90 at lunch. The heat index into the 100s. Then mostly sunny skies for the afternoon. Perhaps an isolated shower eastern Louisiana, where rain chances will be a whopping 10%, and here locally 5%. And we think much the same Saturday. In fact, it looks to get a little bit hotter as we go into the weekend. So temperatures tonight mid 70s to upper 70s your low. Tomorrow lower 90s. Watch that heat index. Then tomorrow night we'll be back down into the mid to upper 70s, and then we go into Saturday. Temperatures a little bit hotter and getting close to the century mark across the northwestern part of the state, and we might get close to 100 Ville Platte Sunday before our frontal boundary comes in and maybe sparks off some storms. We'll talk more about that tonight at 10. Heat indices, well, they're highest late morning through the early evening hours, right around 100 to 103 tomorrow afternoon, and that's for the I-10 corridor, so there'll be spots where we could see heat indices as hot as 105. So warm and humid overnight tonight. Look for the moon after 11 o'clock tonight, rising in the east. Saturn will be very close to it, and no, you won't be able to see the rings around Saturn unless you have a very good pair of binoculars or a telescope. So look for that later on tonight. It'll appear as a bright star next to the moon, right next to the moon. 93 the high tomorrow. Another steamy one for sure. Rain chances staying low, and that's the way we played into the weekend. There we go. Pretty good chance, hopefully, of a few afternoon storms, but not everybody gets a soaking. We'll talk more about that tonight at 10. Going into next week, yeah, summer is as summer does right there. Could see a slight increase in rain chances the middle part of next week. I'd like to go higher on those rain chance numbers, but really can't right now. And oh, by the way, minutes before the show, I crunched the numbers for May in Lafayette, and it goes down as the hottest May on record.
Oh, wow.
With an average temperature of 80 degrees, an average high of 90.5. So your utility bill is going to be a lot worse this May than last May because we were 6 degrees warmer than last May.
All right. Thanks, Rob.